Hey everybody, thank you for clicking on Altered Daily Living. Today we're going to be taking some of your prep goods and we're going to make a meal out in the van. Stay tuned. Somebody's getting hungry. Okay, so what I've got here for you guys today is I'm going to make a chili rice mix using nothing mostly but canned products, as a lot of people are stuck in their homes right now and can't get out. Canned vegetables, they seem to, they hang on for a long time. Shelf life is great. So today I'm going to make some rice mix. I'm going to use a can of black beans, a can of chili beans. I'm going to use a can of mixed vegetables, mushrooms. I'm going to use some seasoning salt, some chili powder, a little bit of liquid smoke, and I'm going to do it all on jasmine rice. I will definitely either down in the description or I'll put a deal up showing everything that was used in this creation today. What I'm going to be using to cook today is I'm going to be using my Lodge cast iron skillet pan, and I'm going to be using another pan to make my rice in. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to get my rice going. And so I'm going to make about 3/4 of a cup of rice, and the typical rule for this is 2-to-1 ratio, so 2 waters to 1 of your rice. So I'll be using about 1.5 cups of water. Once it comes up to a boil, I'm going to put my 3/4 cup of rice in there, turn it down to a simmer, and let it go for about 8 to 11 minutes. Okay, now that my water is starting to boil, I'm going to go ahead and add my rice. All right. Now that I've got my rice added, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my burner down to just a very low simmer, put my lid on, and let it set for about 8 to 11 minutes. So remember to set an alarm. So in my second pan, I'm going to use this for sauteing, and this will put everything together. So what I'm going to do first here is I'm going to put some olive oil in there, enough to kind of coat the bottom. Typically just a couple tablespoons ought to do it, or if you don't like oils, you can always saute with butter. Okay, with the rice going, so I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and heat up my other cast iron pan, and then we're going to throw our mushrooms, mixed vegetables in there. I've never sauteed things out of a can before, so this ought to be interesting. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken my mushrooms and my mixed vegetables and I've drained the juice out of them. They're free of juice. So now I'm just going to go ahead, I'm going to pour them into my pan. And mushrooms. Okay, so with that sauteing, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle a little sea salt on here. I find sea salt kind of helps bring out flavors, even though these are in cans. A little bit of sea salt, and I've got the rice just sitting there. It's done. 10 minutes is up, and it's just sitting there hanging. The reason why I'm sauteing these canned vegetables is to kind of help take some of that canned flavor out of there, and then just make some mushrooms pop a little more in their flavor. And so we're about ready now to add the rest of our ingredients. With that pretty much sauteed up, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and add my beans and my diced tomatoes. Oh yeah. I'm just going to leave all the juice in these cans in there and add that into this mix. Oh yeah. Nice thing about this meal is it's very hearty, it's very filling. Alright, with all that in there, let's kind of give it a stir. This is going to be so good. As far as seasonings go, I use a little black pepper, a little sea salt, I use some liquid smoke, and I use some chili powder. Not too advanced, it's pretty simple. Oh my goodness, that smells so good. Just about ready to add the rice. Let these beans heat up a little bit. Okay, so once you've got all your beans and stuff kind of heated up and everything's sauteed, what we're going to do is we're going to take that rice, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to stick it in there. We're going to get it all mixed up. We are almost there. Now they're pretty much all mixed up. One thing I forgot to mention, I did add jalapenos. Add whatever you like, whatever you got around that you think is going to dress it up to make your tongue taste buds happy, put it in. I like spicy, so I use some jalapenos and I use spicier ingredients. And voila, it's done. I let this cook about another 5 minutes, just so everything kind of come together and the rice can kind of soak up some of those extra fluids. And about another 5 minutes and it was ready to go. And there it is. There's a version of chili rice made out of a can. That looks like a rice thing if I ever did see one. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me today, sticking through on this recipe video. If you haven't already, subscribe. Give me a like if you thought this was all right. Hit that notification bell if you want to know next time I put out a video. Well, this turned out really good. I cheated. I gave it a try already. This took less than 20 minutes to make. It all came out of cans, with the exception of the rice, and the jalapenos came out of a jar. So if you're looking for things to pick up to stock in your home to get you through a time when you can't get to the store, things out of a can, you know, they're not as great as fresh. I typically don't eat things out of cans, but this turned out really good. Sauteing up those canned vegetables really kind of helped take away that canned flavor. You can't even tell eating this. Anyway, guys, I'm going to finish eating my food here. Thanks for joining me today. Remember to hit those notification deals, and I'm excited to see you again next time. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.